Namaste, welcome to ThePrint. Then I'm Amana Begum Ansari here, and once again I'm going to discuss my article I have written for ThePrint. So this week I tried to analyze that why Muslim community should stay away from icon like Mukhtar Ansari and such a gangster turned into politician. And basically I wrote this article after death of Mukhtar Ansari and a chunk of Muslim turning up into his funeral. So I also try to understand that why this happened, why a lot of Muslims are very uh, um, um, mesmerized by Mukhtar Ansari, and they were sad about this entire incident, basically. Apart from that, I also looked into how these figures who are supposed to be looked on upon get used by the Muslim intellectual and politician as for propagating victimhood among the ordinary masses. So first of all, when I talk about the Mukhtar Ansari, I mean it's everybody knows that he was a kind of Bahubali and he has a criminal record, around 61 to 63 cases against it, but it's not a hidden it's a hidden, I mean open secret basically, not a hidden truth that how this FIR get basically um, doesn't work against the powerful people. So especially if you are into government during that time, so it's very easy to manage uh, your way out from those FIRs and crime and get acquittal or bail. So Mukhtar Ansari was one of them, the famous gangster. However, he was also known as a Robin Hood. So it is very known or truth or anyone can tell you that he used to help poor people a lot. And here what happens when we talk about this kind of figure rising into the power, we only blame the community or the ordinary people that why they are lionizing this kind of figure, but we fail very badly when we don't see how system is failing. This is the pure system failure. If we see how, I mean why there is system, there is a gap in a system where which can be exploited to this extent, where such a people who should be behind the jail are accessing to the power. First of the failure of the system. Second, why there is a gap for such a people to become Robin Hood. It clearly says that there is something very wrong with the system where ordinary people, instead of depending for their basic need on the system, get basically get swayed away or get find it easier to depend on these kind of figure. It's far more accessible for them, and you cannot expect from the marginalized community and poor community who are struggling for their basic needs to meet, to survive, to have a bread and butter, to follow certain kind of morality and not to not to uh, lose, basically to say no to such an opportunity which can give them the basic food basically. So it's the biggest failure of the system. So system need to, state and institution need to work properly, where it become very easy for any XYZ ordinary common people to depend on system rather than on a people. And it's actually very lucrative for an individual. If you see, if you getting access to the basic needs through the system, you are not getting into the depth of a certain XYZ person, because it's your right and you're getting it. But we fail to provide such a basic basically minimum to provide a basic minimum needs of ordinary people. So these two things, which is very systematic problem, we need to address that. Without solving that, we will never solve the problem of Robin Hood. They exist in the society because there is a gap, certain kind of gap to fulfill. Second is, I mean, I do understand that first of all I have written this article from the prism of the identity, like that Muslim community for their own betterment, they should reject this kind of leader and icon. They cannot be your icon. They will bring no good to the community. But the second thing is that beyond the political, beyond the identity lens, if we see the real politic, there is a complete failure of political willingness to to not give such a criminal element space in their own party. Mukhtar Ansari was not there just because he was just because he was belonging to the community. He was also there because he was nurtured by the certain politician. It would be Mayawati or Mulayam Singh Yadav, or if we talk about Shahabuddin, he was there because he was favorite of Lalu Prasad. So those Hindu named politicians were the one who were creating them and giving them this protection to in exchange of seizing the power or whatever they needed them for. So there is a entire ecosystem, political ecosystem, which follows no morality, and the ordinary people have to see it and reject uh, this kind of idea. Not very easy, but we have to talk about it. And mind it, no political party is absolved from this kind of pattern. Let it be BJP, BSP, SAPA, Congress, they all have this kind of element in their political party. That is a basically normalized and accepted in the Indian politics. So these are the problem. However, the other thing which I notice and very important to discuss is how unnecessarily Arfa Khanam tweeted suggesting that his heart attack is a kind of uh, state kind of stretched, ostracized. Basically, it was in in a suggestive tweet calling it Russia model, basically telling that it was state uh, um, oppression, basically on a poor Muslim, basically marginalized Muslim. Mukhtar Ansari was not any kind of victim or poor victim. He was a very powerful person. He was the one who used to victimize other people and oppress other people. But suddenly she made him into this victim person who was oppressed uh, by the poor vegetarian evil state. And what it does, that it sends indirectly message to the ordinary Indian Muslim that when these kind of people who access to this much power even are not safe and they cannot protect their interests, they cannot protect their life, then what, I mean, the poor Indian Muslim, what chances do you have against this evil vegetarian state, which bring further victimization in them and make them more dependent on figure like this, like let's say Bahubali or the Ashraf, basically most of the Ashrafs. So the normal, when there is a more fear on among the normal individual Muslims, so instead of approaching to the state for their own needs, they will rally behind this kind of figure, and that's what they want. So it's a very vicious cycle here. And further we can see, and mind it, Alfa Khanum says that she's a journalist and she makes this kind of tweet without any evidence and proof to back it up. So what kind of journalist she is, God knows. And then further, the politician like Owaisi, they exploit it to create a block of Muslim vote bank by telling them that, look, I am standing with you in any situation. I mean, if you're right or wrong, I will be here for you. So that helps him in his political ambition, but at which cost? He never thinks about it, and I don't think he even care about it. So and I mean, these are my analysis, and I also have written about my personal experience or memory of Mukhtar Ansari. For more, please go and read the article. Thank you.